Coming up this week on Two Noobs, New York City proves once again why I don't want to go there, as their Democratic primary for mayor goes interestingly. Then Pepsi is under fire for being full of hot air, literally, as shrinkflation is taken to court. Godspeed. Next, you thought TikTok was spying on your ass. Wait till you get a load of these nose goblins. And can you tell the difference between fact and fiction? Judging by what I see from you people online, you can't. But John is going to test Matt and me to see if we can pick out the phony stories. Start the music. I am holding my breath because Matt told me to do it.
Don't do
But-
it. Yeah.
You said to hold your breath.
The whole time.
On this
The whole
program.
time that we were having technical difficulties.
Evidently, like, yeah, the program that we're using is holding it up by Scotch tape at the moment. So a lot of internet glitches, refreshes.
So we're Google? Is that what you're saying?
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to apologize to our viewers in advance in the event that we all somehow magically change clothes halfway through this episode.
Which
it's
probably
getting
will
late.
happen. Yeah.
We could probably just take these off and fluff them in the dryer and wear them again tomorrow. It's that late.
Right? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, all right. So we'll see what happens. It is episode 247.
7. Yeah.
Of Two Noobs Talking, the podcast that does stuff sometimes. We recorded last week. It was on Friday night, right?
I believe that was. Yeah.
Yes.
So we missed the big kerfuffle Saturday night
Mm.
when some B2s
Yeah.
dropped some bombs on
Did
some
B2 things.
sites. Did B2 things.
Yeah.
Did you ever remember those fruit snacks?
Nice, sir.
Fruit snacks that were like
Yes.
jets,
Mm.
and they had
Yes.
B2 stealth bombers.
They
It
were
was
the,
like one
they
of
were
the.
the,
Oh.
they were the tastiest.
Oh, there you go. Look at that.
Oh, you
They're
saved
so
those for the end.
badass.
Yeah.
They were like the great white sharks in the shark bites pack.
Oh, there you go.
They were the special ones. You saved them for the end.
Towards the end.
Well, but anyway, I got a really special kick out of watching stupid people like AOC
Mm.
get all in an uproar about, oh, he didn't ask us for permission to drop those bombs. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure Obama dropped like
Yeah.
517,362 bombs on, I don't know, Somalia.
Yeah.
Give or take 3 or 4. I mean,
Yeah.
you could be off by like 3 or 4.
Yeah, that's the over-under, I think, is the number of bombs
And
that
that
he
might have
dropped.
been on a random Tuesday.
Didn't your boy Clinton do that too, Johnny? Wasn't he dropping bombs all over the place?
Yeah, he wasn't as highly aggressive as Bush and Obama, but
Yeah.
yeah, he started the BS.
Yeah.
He liked to shoot bombs just like everybody else.
Must be fun when you're the president of the United States, so you could just order bomb droppings wherever the hell you want. You know, it's like, yeah,
especially
go over
when
there
you're
and
a
bomb somebody.
jackass piece of shit.
Yeah, but you
Oh.
know, my hypocrisy only goes so far. So if I don't like you in the Oval Office, you have to ask my permission to drop the bombs.
Well, that's what
if
happens
I'm in
when you.
Congress.
It happens. We'll get to that later, but that happens when you're a communist. You expect things.
Yeah, exactly.
that aren't actually held by the Constitution.
Mhm.
I mean, if you're going to serve in government, shouldn't you have the slightest idea about how government works and what your role is vis-a-vis other branches of government? I don't know.
Real quick question, just on that, Matt. Do you happen to know how many people serve in the House? Collectively,
I believe it's 537 in the House and 100 in the Senate. So you're roughly, let's just round it up, 640 total.
It's that. I thought it was 430 something.
yeah.
Oh, it might be 4. Yeah, you're right. I wonder, maybe probably a couple of redistricting ago, I guess. Redistricting.
Either or,
Whatever.
Either or works. Either or works for what we're talking about.
Right?
We are re-dicking. And that's just the way it is.
They'll spend our money just to talk about redicking. After this, trust me, they will. There'll be a subcommittee on redicking. There'll be a subcommittee on redicking. It'll all be on C-SPAN. Don't worry about it.
We are all going to get summoned now before Congress to testify on this issue.
I can't wait.
Oh,
Matt is going to be deported to Sweden for some bizarre reason, even though he's not from there.
Definitely.
He was So my point being that many people,
Yeah.
half of them are not qualified.
Yeah, that's fair.
Smart people are not running to
Smart people like
or
Steve.
they're not running to sign up to get into office.
Right.
You gotta just assume that half of them are completely unqualified.
I think you are severely underestimating
I am for a reason. The other 50% probably have an agenda and are already corrupt before they got there.
That's true.
So stupid to corrupt, that is how you balance the House in the United States.
All the more miracle, gents, that the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution were created by actual functioning human beings back then.
Yes. Drunks, if you read
Drunks,
history,
yeah.
but smart.
Hell, if you're drinking sherry all the time, I mean, that's what they did back in the colonial days.
yeah.
They were drinking sherry.
Look,
And
if I had to put on a powdered wig and wear it all day, I think I'd be a drinker too.
There was a great thing I just learned today that I think it was Monroe and Jefferson were drinking wine at 9 a.m. where they were arguing like a very menial part of the Constitution in the full. Like it was like the ending of a line. I don't even know what it was, but the story that was being told by a historian was they were doing it over wine at 9 in the morning.
can you imagine?
It was like, that's fucking great. You're just sloshed at 9 in the morning arguing, we got to finish this. We'll do whatever it takes.
Damn it. Yeah,
I
exactly.
say again, if I'm wearing
That's
a
the
powdered wig
country I
at
want
9
to be a
a.m.
part of. That's the country I want to be a part of.
Yeah.
We
yeah.
get
I'm wearing a
shit done.
powdered wig at 9 a.m. I'm drinking. All right, we're already 6 minutes in. I haven't even told people who you are because they have no clue. Over there, that's judge and jury John Tracy.
Oh, there you go.
You too.
Wow.
Stop it. It was everybody else.
I said, I'm gonna re-dick you right the hell out of here. It's gonna be the way it is.
And then I'll start my subcommittee and re-dick you back.
Stop it.
By the way, this is Congress on a Tuesday if you guys don't watch C-SPAN.
9:30 already. Good Lord Almighty. Here we go.
Oh, come on. If this is what C-SPAN was like, I would be watching it 24/7.
Yeah.
Oh, I follow it on TikTok. It's so entertaining.
All right, over here we have the masked defective, Matt Craig. And I in the middle, I am say your prayers and take your vitamins, Steve.
Oh, goodness.
All right, I have
Leave it there.
I have a grievance. This is not the over 40, but I have a grievance anyway. The NBA and NHL drafts
Oh, God.
took way too long.
Yeah.
Good God.
The NHL
That should be
draft.
11 That should be 11 minutes, and it shouldn't even be on TV. That should be a tweet.
Yeah, the
I don't
NHL.
know
The
why these
NHL
narcissists
draft.
think that they need to fucking parade everything around. Like, just tweet it out. Like, do it in a back room.
John,
Don't-
you should have seen the NHL draft. It was literally like announced player.
Oh,
Player comes
I
up,
followed it.
puts
I
on the
followed it
jersey.
on a feed. It was terrible.
Yeah. And
And
he,
the NBA draft was even
And they
worse.
took him into this like secluded little room where they faced the gallery of the people who just selected them.
pardon me, I just had to put a new shirt on. I don't know.
Oh,
I got a Whataburger shirt.
Oh, there you
Weird.
go. Yeah.
It's tasty.
There
I
you
don't know
go.
what happened there. Well, anyway, it's not our over 40, but I have a grievance because this week I watched both the NBA and NHL drafts, which took way too damn long.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I don't understand that. I did not understand it. I know they try and roll the dice. They want to try and get as many viewers as they possibly can. I totally get that. I totally get it. But this was a gigantic swing and miss, ABC, Disney, whatever. I mean, you know, it's like, I know you're
ESPN.
bad already with movies and TV shows and all the other try and like foster onto the American people. But now this is getting a little ridiculous with like the sports leagues. Knock it off. Get out of my life, please. I'm just saying.
I did the math. If you gave each team, and this is the NHL draft, you gave each team 5 minutes to make their pick. Multiply that by 32 teams. That's 160 minutes. Your draft should not be longer than about 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
It took, I went to bed before the first round was finished. And it was getting on like past 11 o'clock at that point.
It's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the NBA draft, I only stuck around the NBA draft until the Sixers picked at 3. Okay. And even that took like half an hour because Dallas Mavericks decided they were going to take the whole 5 minutes to make the decision everyone and their mother knew was going to be made, take Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
There was absolutely no reason. No reason for you to do that, Dallas. What the hell?
The best Duke player. Oh my God.
Right.
Right. So yeah, I don't know if the NHL draft used to move.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if
When
it's
I
because
used to watch it. Yes. When
Yeah.
I used to watch it, absolutely, it moved.
I don't know if it was ESPN dragging it out or who's at fault. The NBA draft, they used to get through both rounds in a single night. I don't know what the hell they were thinking this year.
Well, quick question, Steve. What does ESPN stand for?
Everybody sucks.
Entertainment.
Fill in.
Entertainment, sports, something network.
Yeah.
Entertainment. They're trying to be the NFL, and only the NFL can do what the NFL
Well,
does.
even the NFL pisses me off because
No, it's the worst thing. But they're trying to duplicate the NFL, and
Agree.
the NFL sucks.
yeah.
But at least the NFL is semi-entertaining in the first round, and then they cut the bullshit, and then you can get it done for a week.
No, they don't. No, because they've spread it out over 3 days now.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying is good about them is they spread it out over 3 days. So
No.
you don't have to care.
No, just get it over with. Just get it over with.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
But
this.
I love the NFL because what did we pick in the first round? Great. I don't have to worry about it for the rest of the night. That's how we trades up. And then I can go back Saturday and be like, where are we picking? All right, cool. So 1 and 7 o'clock, I got to be around the TV. All right, cool. That was done. I don't have to worry about it for the rest of the day. I can have the dinner. I can have some fun. And then the next day, I'm like, all right, we have 3, 7. I'm out by like the 3rd round. So it doesn't actually matter. And most fans are. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. This long drag out of 2 rounds
Oh,
by the NBA is atrocious.
yeah.
Yep.
Is my whole point to
It's
that.
bad enough they have
You're dragging out something could be done in 11 minutes.
bad enough you have load
11
management.
minutes.
Yeah. Bad enough
And
you
how
have
many of
load.
those? How many of those second round picks are actually going to play in the NBA too?
None of them.
That's the thing.
None of them.
So why do they need a separate night? That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Absolutely
can get that done in
ridiculous.
11 minutes. That's the problem with the
Oh,
NBA.
oh, the
know
NHL
who's
draft.
Yeah.
I know who's good in the college by the NBA draft. There's only 7 players that are good.
Yeah.
You get the shit done
Real quick. Yeah.
real quick.
Yeah.
The NHL draft. By the time they get to like the 5th round,
Mhm.
they're calling a name before the next guy even like can realize what's going on.
Yeah.
Right? The analysts are like, okay, we're going to talk about this pick, and as they're starting to talk about that pick, the next pick is coming in.
Yeah.
And so they have to like.
With the next pick, some other guy we haven't heard from the
Right,
junior division.
exactly.
I think
Exactly.
I think the NFL's at fault because it's like they're every other league is trying to replicate what the first round means.
Agreed.
But that's the thing. The NFL is special because it's the first round is the first round. It's where history is made. You get to see your team's jersey up against a young player and you're thinking, oh man, what about this player? And if he reaches his potential and blah, 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 it'd be awesome. To do that for the NBA and the NHL where it's like half the guys, like you don't know. It's a lottery. It really is a lottery. To Steve's point, it is a lottery. The whole draft system's a lottery. And especially like if you follow college basketball, you have an idea of who's going to go number 1 overall. But after that, you have no idea what's going to happen.
No, you don't even know. You don't even know.
So why drag it out? That's the ridiculous nonsense of it. Yeah, just
That's
please
all I'm
speed.
asking.
Yeah.
Or be baseball, be irrelevant, and just
Right.
do it on the baseball network and not bother us.
Yeah.
There you go.
Do it in a studio with friends and family and be done with it. That kind of a deal.
That's what I was gonna say.
I think baseball figured it out because
Yeah.
they were like, nobody gives a shit. We're just going to
Right.
do it on the MLB network, and nobody cares about
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
I know the MLB draft is like, oh, that happened.
It's actually awesome. The MLB draft is the greatest draft ever to go back and look on 5 years later. Because you're like, shit, the Royals are really smart because they picked like 4 guys in the 4th round that are now on their roster, but it's a reflective draft. And I understand like how great the MLB draft is because they don't tell anybody about it.
Yeah.
It's so much better 5 years later.
Oh yeah.
All right, nerd. Let's move on to the W Energy fun fact. Brought to you by W Energy
Get in my
Drinks.
phone. I was on my soapbox. So work with me.
Visit W at their website, w.gg, or download the app to your phone. If you use our promo code, Too Noobs Talking, that's TOONOO Talking, you get 10% off your order. Purple Nurples, bad. Purple Dub Sauce. Purple Dub Sauce. Purple Dub Sauce, though, good. A custom flavor by Dubby. It's a passion fruit juice sauce designed to give you faster reaction time paired with laser sharp focus. I guess passion fruits are purple because otherwise I don't understand the reference. But anyway, you get $4 off a $40 tub with our promo code. John, did I buy you enough time?
Yes, you got plenty of time. So you guys remember the wonderful series when I was in Houston and the Phillies were playing Houston. You remember that? And I actually thought about spending my good hard-earned money to go to one of those games, and I decided not to.
Thank God for that.
Yes, I saved a ton of money. But what I learned after that is after being swept by Houston, the Phillies became the 10th team to be swept and to score no more than 5 runs in a series. There's only 9 other teams that have ever done what they did in Houston. The Twins in 2014, the Diamondbacks in 2000, Dodgers in 92, Brewers in 91, White Sox in 72, Reds in 66, A's in 1913.
Oh, wow.
The Brooklyn Dodgers in 1913, and the 1909 St. Louis Browns. Nobody knows that team even existed. So after my over 40 rant of how shitty their base running is, congratulations, you joined a list that nobody knows anything about.
And that is your W Energy Drink fun fact.
That is my fun fact.
I thought they only scored 1 run in Houston.
Oh.
They did, but only 1.
Well, the funny thing is after they blew out Atlanta 13-0 on Friday night, the stat was, the Phillies have outscored the opposition 14 to 5 over the last 4 games.
Right?
But as we're recording, I want to just say we actually won a baseball game today.
Yes, we did. But we only scored 2 runs.
By hook or by crook.
But actually playing baseball.
We bunted.
Baseball.
Yeah, we bunted, sack fly.
Hitting runners on sack fly. Like everything was good. We actually won. Actually playing baseball, which was
amazing.
Was fucking awesome to watch.
Yeah.
Because baseball, not being shut out by Houston and then putting a 13 spot on Atlanta. Makes no sense. This team is screwed at this
man.
point.
Yeah, I would say. But that's not our over 40 rant. Matt, I'm going to go to for the over 40 rant, sir.
Trying to remember what I was going to be complaining about here.
I believe it was the AI support.
Yes. Oh, you should probably talk about Riverside, how it's
oh my gosh, yeah. No, yeah, it's just unfortunately.
Which is why we're in different shirts now.
Which is why we're in different shirts now. Yeah, I almost wanted to throw my mic through the monitor. I think earlier today, I told that to Steve as we were recording Men in Orange and Black, which you can check out right up there in the upper right corner of the screen.
Please do. It's
Yeah.
the only two people that know what they're talking about. And that's come from me, who has to get Philly hockey knowledge in another state.
We have an idea of what
Everybody else, not that smart.
Yeah. No, I just think the whole talk about AI, I think let's just put this to bed. I'm going to put it to bed right now. I have, basically Steve did it last week. I'm going to put a nail in the coffin. Here on Too Noobs, we are not talking artificial intelligence now for the remainder of, let's just say, it's the end of June. So I'm going to extend the ban on artificial intelligence articles throughout the entire third quarter of 2025. So no artificial intelligence talk.
I'm a little concerned because
yeah.
Is that rumor gonna murder you?
If it does, Johnny.
Concerned. Because if it does, I have to fly in and I need to help save you because I don't trust that rumor. You're talking shit on AI and that thing is probably like disconnected.
All of this talk is like
fight him.
I will say this, it's been pushed now in the organization, and I'm sitting there and I'm kind of going like 45% of R&D folks are burned out. What are we doing to stop this? I posed that question on Friday.
Great question.
And I'm like,
question to ask.
We need to have balance in this. We can't just all of a sudden. And I was told, we shouldn't be fearful of it. We shouldn't be fearful about it. All this kind of stuff. And I'm thinking, yeah, but I'm reading articles which is exactly contrary to this, where people are getting more burned out by it because of all the bullshit that it's fostering and giving us, and all the rework that we have to do to teach it how to do its job. I would like to know, just tell me right up front, tell me in the comments section down below everything about what we can do to try and mitigate this burnout, because it's ridiculous. But I'm now putting a moratorium. No more AI articles.
Yes, but let's get to the heart of what brought this up. Was with our podcasting platform booting us out.
Oh,
every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You
chat.
went to support.
I did.
And what did you get? Did you get a live person?
No.
Nope.
I did not. I said to the chatbot, fix your system. It's broken. It then gave me an article about sharing something on the screen, and sharing how to share something on your screens, and when you do it, and I'm like, okay, I'm not in the mood right now. I am not going to strangle you to death. I did not ask you. I asked you to fix yourself.
How do you strangle AI? Do you grab the circuits and squeeze?
Squeeze like this?
You try.
Go
I squeezed my phone. I have another story just to prolong the over 40. I bought a phone off the website because I was tired of my phone that fell apart. You guys know very much. I bought the flip, and I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. I was willing to spend $1,000 to be an idiot.
Oh, Lord, Johnny.
It was a failed experiment. So I got another phone.
Yeah.
And I got a new phone now. I got a nice, 25, Samsung 25.
Nice.
It's an awesome phone. I'm enjoying it. Steve, if you want to upgrade, I'm telling you, this is the way to go.
There you go.
We were talking about that. I had an A53 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The time it took me from Houston to back home, and all I needed to do was go to a Spectrum store, and the problem would be solved in 11 seconds, was amazing. Because the phone stuff was getting me to do things that didn't even make any sense. And when I went into my local store, when I got home, I was like, I'm having an issue with this. I don't know what to do. They looked at the phone a human looked at the phone and was like, this phone's a piece of shit. It's not gonna. I can already tell that it's a bad batch. You need to return it immediately.
No kidding.
Let's get you in a phone that actually works. But
Wow.
a human did that.
Wow.
The AI bots, they
say it was your fault.
Yeah.
I changed SIM cards 3 times.
Oh gosh. Oh my gosh.
Over and over again. A human looked at it and was like, They put the thing in, they put their system, and she was like, "This is never gonna work. What do you want to do?" I was like, "Throw it in the trash. Give me another phone." I don't care.
Done.
If that's never gonna work. I don't care. But that's human interaction.
I love
right?
it. I love
Absolutely.
it. That's
She's like,
customer
"That's not gonna
service.
work." And I'm like, "Well, I don't need that anymore. I
Yeah.
need something that works. Now I have this phone. I'm happy because I talk to a human."
I want all CEOs to listen to this. That is how customer service gets done.
Amen.
You don't throw
Amen.
a AI bot out there and say, "Oh yeah, we'll solve all the problems for us." No, Johnny, I love it. That's a great story. Thank you for ending that over 40 rand perfectly. That was
Matt,
great.
I love the passion. Where's a flag? I need to salute a flag.
I have an Eagles flag over there. I'll salute that.
I love it.
All right, well, let's get into topic 1 finally.
Jalen
We don't have an article for this one, but the New York City held a primary election last week, and I don't even remember the dude's first name. Mamdani ended up winning over Andrew Cuomo, right?
Yeah.
Not Chris. Chris is
Yeah,
The lunatic
the
that
the guy that killed.
Yes, I always get the two confused.
Yeah. Chris Cuomo didn't kill people. He's just an idiot.
Right.
Andrew actually killed
Okay.
people.
Yeah. Okay. So from that perspective, I can understand a little bit why this guy won the primary.
Somebody gets a murderer. Yeah, absolutely.
However, not that New York City, as my over 42 weeks ago or whenever it was indicated, is not my favorite place to go. But I do fear for their future if this guy is going to win the general election come November, because he's got some ideas that remind me of that Simpsons episode where Homer runs for what was the position?
Oh,
he was in charge of like the trash
Yeah.
and like municipal waste.
Yeah.
And he promised all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh, people are going to come to your house with white gloves and they're going to take out your trash for you.
Yeah.
And all this fun stuff. And then they realize that they have no money left. And that's exactly how I see this guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's like,
yeah.
man, we're going to have government operated supermarkets. That's not gonna,
that'll go
blow
over
money.
well. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll go over well in New York. Yeah. This guy is a dumb. All gloves are off, man.
We need to get Matt late at night more often.
I'm telling you, like I'm having a real hard time controlling my emotion.
I
Really,
understand.
when I have
some things to back you up on that.
Yeah.
So we're fine.
He's an idiot. He shouldn't have won, but this is the state of the Democrats where they are right now, guys. Honest to God.
Him
They
or a
have-
killer.
Him or someone that murdered a bunch of people.
I mean, right?
Oh, socialism's in.
Socialism's in. Yay!
Way better than killing people. They're actually correct.
All but
Socialism is way better than killing people.
and I feel for Steve because it's like if you have to go up to New York City, you're gonna have to like go up there and like a bubble wrap with this guy as mayor. And I'm dead serious.
The fact that you've never got mugged is amazing.
It's a miracle.
Well, I'm a big tough guy.
Well, I know.
So.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, you beat people up on
No.
the daily. I understand.
Guys, he's an idiot. He's a lunatic. He's a moron. He should not win. Eric Adams should win. If you're in New York and you're hearing this, please vote Eric Adams. Please do yourself
All
a
his
favor.
flaws, yes. All
He's
his
an anti-Semite. I mean, this guy is the most hate-filled piece of that I've ever seen in my entire life.
Wow.
I'm
Yeah,
dead
it's
serious.
going off the hand.
I don't like.
I'm gonna take this over, Matt. Just to help you here, so you don't have to cuss anymore.
John, I don't like
What?
people that are evil, and this guy is that.
But one political analyst called him AOC
Mm-hmm.
in his propaganda, and then said he was a little bit like Putin
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and a little bit like Gavin Newsom at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That was a political analyst of his ideas.
Mm-hmm.
One of his ideas is he wants to tax the rich because he wants to save New York, but he's only putting a 2% tax on the rich. And then the rest of the people have to take over the rest of the taxes. So he's doing the socialist thing. We want to tax the rich. We want them to pay their fair share. 2% flat tax, because that's better for everybody else. But everybody else's taxes are going to go up for that, because where is New York going to get their money from? They're not.
Well, especially after the rich leave, because
but nobody's going to stay there.
Yeah.
Right. The 2% taxes, they try to get them to stay, but they're not going to stay because they've already left. You can't get everybody. You can't get everybody back. You can't, in a short amount of time. You can't get everybody back.
Well, I love the thing where he's like, well, we're going to tax, the businesses in New York because they make too much money. And they're like, well, we'll just leave. He's like, well, I'm going to tax you even if you leave, if you're doing business in New York.
And it's good. California did.
And you know what's going to happen? They're going to be like, well, you know what? I don't need to sell my shit in New York because I can make my money elsewhere.
Yeah. And that's what California did. And they fell flat on their face when Gavin Newsom tried to tax you for you used to live in California. That didn't get held up well because nobody did business in California. Now that's a shithole. He's literally trying he's a little worse than Gavin Newsom.
Oh, yeah.
Because Gavin Newsom at least has some kind of sense when he's being an asshole to step away. This does not have that at all.
Yeah.
But I will put my full after watching that primary, and I'm very into politics, as you guys know. I'm very into what is going on. I think what Eric Adams did, and we covered this before, what Eric Adams did is going independent. I think Eric Adams is going to win, and I think he's the sensible candidate. Even though being a Democrat, and I disagree with him on a bunch of things, but I also don't live in New York, so I don't care. I think he saw this coming, and Eric Adams did the right thing. I'm gonna step aside, get out of this shit show.
Let the lunatic.
I'm gonna come in and run this dude over. I applaud Eric Adams for that, and I wish the governor and the mayor of Philadelphia would figure that out.
Yeah, well said. Well said. Thank you, John. I just have a hard time reconciling people that are just they're just evil. I could just see it. It's just like, for me, it's like, it's not just the tax policies, it's the anti-Semitism. It's the one, his yes doesn't mean yes, his no doesn't mean no. It's like integrity is nowhere gone. He's just there to be elected. And he's spouting out a bunch of socialist talking points that he's trying to capture a millennial vote, that they're attracted to it. They're thinking like, oh yeah, capitalism sucks. We really need to have socialism. And it's like, you really don't understand what socialism has done across the entire world. And you need to do your damn homework.
Socialism, I'll put it to you this way. Socialism is a great idea when you're talking about robots. The minute you introduce the human condition, socialism will never work.
Never does.
Because humans have emotions, they need motivation to do things, and socialism completely takes out any motivation to do anything other than sit on your ass. And when everyone's sitting on your ass, no money is being made anywhere, so there's no money to give out. And things fall apart. That's your problem with socialism.
And Venezuela is a great point to that, because when they put the socialism in Venezuela, the rich were already rich. And you literally watch the middle class become poor within 2 years. Because nobody had any drive, like to Steve's point and to your point, nobody had any drive. Now all of a sudden in Venezuela, you have two classes. You have the rich and you have the poor. Socialism 101.
Victim,
right, and he wants to do that in New York.
Oppressed,
I don't think the New Yorkers are going to stand up for it. I think Eric Adams will be elected mayor again. I think it was a smart play for him to go to the independent, because I think he saw what was coming down the pipe.
The middle class the middle class is hated by a bunch of socialists, John, to your exact point.
Yeah.
Because if you have a middle class, you don't have an oppressor and you don't have an oppressed.
Yeah,
You've got a middle ground in there that's like, no, I don't see any side to this. This is not going to work if you pit one against the other. You have to allow the people that are poor to strive to get into the middle class, and then the middle class can strive and go get into the rich if they wanted to.
That's what we're doing in America.
Yeah. Hillsdale College had something really great about that. If you ever get a chance to check them out, they have a real good period piece on why socialism fails is because they want, well, essentially a socialist wants to take out, like I said before, they want to take out the middle class because they hate the middle class, period. They may talk that they like the middle class, but they're lying to you. They lie to you straight up. And that's why I was cursing, and so I'll now repent for that.
But the whole point of the socialist point of view that originally was brought upon was for everybody, like you said, to pull everybody up, and we were all supposed to get better.
Yeah,
that was the original socialist point of view. But when the rich people and the kings and the queens and all realized, oh, we can feed them a bunch of bullshit and create rich and poor.
Yeah.
Oh, we could just live.
Yeah.
Steve, give me my caviar because people suck. That is socialism.
Yeah. 101.
At a whole now.
Yeah.
I didn't get my caviar. What the hell?
Well, good luck getting your caviar from a New York City owned supermarket. You know, it's interesting because I often feel like the oppressor, and you two are my oppressed on this program.
I'm not impressed by shit.
Hey, who controls the naming conventions on this program, huh? I'm the one who gives you two names every week.
That's
just
true.
So you know.
Yeah, that's true.
That's right. I can come up with any J word I want, bro.
Nice.
At least M gives you a little bit more flexibility, right?
Yeah, M, I have a lot of options. J is just shit. I can't.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, for giving me that exploit.
There you go.
As an oppressor, I love to exploit. That's my job. Anyway.
You're a lawyer. You're not an oppressor.
Oh,
all right, topic 2. Speaking of lawyers, it's almost like John thought that through.
There you go.
He didn't really.
No, I didn't read the show notes. I didn't.
He just knows I'm a lawyer.
I got a Whataburger shirt though.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
Whataburger, the food of the oppressed. All right, so let's see where we're at. On June 1st, Bonnie Reyes filed a class action lawsuit against PepsiCo in California federal court. At the center of the case, the popular snack popcorners and what's not inside the bag. Reyes accuses PepsiCo of using non-functional slack fill in its packaging. In plain terms, oversized bags filled mostly with air. Oh, she's talking about Whoopi Goldberg.
You should take a minute and just sink that in.
That was fantastic. That was
unplanned, but okay.
You've seen the view.
No, actually, I haven't.
Oh, thank God. Yeah.
I've heard what she said. And,
yeah.
Okay.
She's a fucking moron. Just lay that out.
According to the suit, Popcorners sea salt varieties are sold in opaque packaging that gives no clear indication of how much product is actually inside. And it's not a minor gap. The complaint alleges that more than half the bag is empty. Reyes argues this isn't just inconvenient, it's deceptive. She claims the packaging tricks customers into thinking they're getting more product than they actually are, which leads to unfair pricing and undercuts brands that actually disclose how much snack you're getting. It's part of a broader trend, consumers calling out shrinkflation and other tactics that quietly chip away at value while prices stay high and trust runs low. Slack-fill lawsuits have cropped up across the food industry in recent years, targeting everything from candy to protein powder. And while not all succeed, they're sending a clear message: empty space may come at a cost. John, you deal with a lot of empty space. What do you think about this lawsuit?
I will give credit to former President Joe Biden that he said he was gonna fight shrinkflation. When he probably should have been working on world peace, but that's
you got to pick your battles, John.
Priorities,
exactly.
man.
You gotta I agree with the lawsuit. I agree with former President Joe Biden. Yes, this has been a thing. Me and my wife joke about it all the time because we'll get the snack packs from Sam's Club, and little individual bags. And you're eating when I stop and I eat lunch and I dig in the bag. There's like 11 chips in there.
Yeah.
And that thing weighs like at least a pound. But most when you're, well, I guess I only get a couple. Okay.
And they're all broken.
Yeah, they're all broken.
A couple. The only ones that don't do that are the Sun Chips.
Yeah.
When you open a Sun Chip bag, you get like that thing. Like you open it and they jump out like off the floor to eat them.
They certainly don't take the Five Guys Burgers approach to fries, where they overfill.
Only Sun Chips do.
Well, I got you beat. When I was in middle school, I would say, used to be able to get a bag of chips with your lunch, and it was Wise was the actual WISE was the brand, and you would open it up, and there would be like 3 chips in the bag. It was absolutely obscene.
Wow.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Interesting. Yeah,
I don't know, Matt. What do you think?
I'm totally familiar with popcorners. I've had them before. They're a very tasty chip.
You just wish you had more.
I just wish I had more.
They're not bad. I would like to have a full bag of them.
A little bit, right? I mean, their individual packages fine. It's like I know you can only cram so many that you can put in there. But if she's talking like the big size bag,
I assume that's what she means, yeah.
And that's what she's talking. But that's
I think so.
Net weight thing.
Yeah.
That's also they do it by net weight.
Yeah. And I've noticed it.
If the bag weighs, it passed. And it doesn't matter how many chips.
Exactly. And that's the process, I think, when you start to look at it, Johnny. It's literally like, if I hit a certain weight, good to go at that point. And, it doesn't matter how much air is in there as long. And that's the thing. It's like, I think the packaging itself might have to be looked at. If you're talking, let's just say you get a pound of chips, or, I don't know how much they weigh. Would have to look back behind there, I guess, if I have
I don't have your chips with me, I would totally tell you.
But in any event, yeah, you're pouring all those chips down at the bottom, and the scale is at the bottom, and guess what? It's going to, you're filling it up, and you're going to know, okay, this is a pound of chips. We could seal it off. That's it. You got a lot of space up in the top, and so the accusation of shrinkflation can certainly be warranted. But again, I would, it would be something where you'd have to go back to the manufacturer and like, what is your actual process here? That kind of a deal. And
that's something that the federal government should be involved in, but they're not. They're sending money to Ukraine.
Well, and they're bombing Iran too. So I mean, that's another issue too.
They should be doing other things.
Yeah.
It seems to me that what's happening, as I read this and listen to it, is, if you're going to have 12 ounces of chips,
you should have 12 ounces of chips.
Well, I think you do have 12 ounces of chips. I think what's happening is they're putting 12 ounces of chips in a big bag, and you see the big bag sitting on the shelf, and you're like, oh, man, that's party size. Party tonight, man. You get the bag, and you open it up, and you're like, wow, there's like
chips 30 in chips in here. Yeah.
See, I think it's a little different. I think what they're using is they're using the packaging to their advantage, and this is why it's happening. I don't think you're getting the 12 ounces of chips. I think you're getting 10 ounces of chips and 2 ounces of air. And as a scale, good. What we should be getting is a bag the same size, as you said. We should be getting a bag the same size.
Yeah.
So if we're getting 12 ounces of chips, we should be getting a bag that size. But I think they've been playing that game for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Because when we were kids, when we got a bag of Doritos, when we opened them, the Doritos were right at the top.
Oh, yeah.
There wasn't any air in there. It was Doritos or whatever chip you guys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
Now I think the industry has been using the weighing system,
Mm.
they've manipulated the weighing
It's
system.
You
it's
look at
probably a little
everything.
bit of both.
Yeah.
It's probably a little bit of both because what I'm thinking of when I think of shrinkflation,
Mm.
you know, bite-sized candy bars, right? Like the ones you hand out at Halloween.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
They have gotten smaller and smaller
Yeah,
and
but that's what I'm
smaller.
saying. Yeah, that's
But
what
the
I'm saying.
packaging,
Absolutely.
but the packaging has shrunk
No.
with it.
Oh,
No, it is.
interesting.
Oh, okay.
It is. The
I get what you're
packaging
saying.
shrinks with it. So you can
Oh.
tell from the outside packaging that a Kit Kat now is smaller than a Kit Kat from 10 years ago.
Interesting.
Okay, I got what you're saying.
I have a feeling that with these chip bags, they haven't changed the size of the bag,
Mm.
but they've probably reduced the content. So whereas before you might have had 10 ounces of chips,
Right, yep,
now it's 9 ounces, but they didn't shrink the bag. So you still think, oh, I got a big ass
Party
bag.
size. Yeah.
Party size bag, and then you open it up, and I've got an individual bag of chips in there.
Okay, that makes total sense. I think we're on the same page here.
Do you think?
But I wouldn't put it past the company to be using air to kind of.
I was just going to say
manipulate
that again goes back to what I was saying before, the process. You have to wonder like what the manufacturing process is, and if that, from a, I guess you could say from a chip perspective, what do you need to do to try and correct this if this lawsuit does in fact go through?
Funny story, you need the Fed, but they're too busy worrying about other things.
I guess so, but I mean that would probably be food and drug, and that would be something that they would be able
But
to.
that's the Fed. But that's the Fed.
Mm.
It should totally be there.
Would it be the? I don't know if it's the FDA or if it would be the FTC,
Federal Trade
Federal
Commission.
Trade Commission.
That too.
I think it would be the Federal Trade Commission.
Yeah,
It's
FDA is more
commerce.
like safety,
Yeah.
whereas
Yeah.
FTC is like this is a commerce thing.
Yeah.
FTC would be doing commerce because you're selling a product to
Yeah.
somebody else.
Yeah, the FDA would
Yeah.
only get involved if the air being put in the bag was like carbon monoxide and people were opening the
But
bag.
shockingly, they all begin with Fed. So get your shit
Well,
together and
right.
Yeah.
fix our chips.
The libertarian streak in me though, Johnny, would go like, let's just try and fix that manufacturing process first. You know, let's do that before we get the feds involved.
I don't-
I want the Fed to be involved in shit that isn't corruption, and start fixing my chips.
I will not
I
hold
don't-
my breath on that, but I know what you're saying. know
I
what you're
don't
saying.
think this is an issue of
No.
negligence in the. I think it's intentional.
You think it's
I'm
intentional?
I'm just being ridiculous.
I'm with this lawsuit. I think it's intentional.
Interesting.
Absolutely
It
intentional.
Okay.
That's
absolutely is intentional.
Huh.
yeah.
Do
I'm
you-
just being ridiculous over here with my political view. Don't agree with me.
Well, real quick, what do you think? Do you think Kennedy would have anything to do with this? Do you think Robert F. Kennedy would do
Absolutely.
something like that?
He knows somebody that could handle that because he is the HHS secretary.
Yeah, but that's health. That's not trade. He's
So
again. I mean, he's
specifically
he's
FTC.
getting red 40 out of the food,
So it would
Yeah.
be,
but
so
that's
it would be-
safety again.
Yeah.
So it would be the Secretary of Commerce that would handle it.
Potentially.
Most likely.
Yeah, most
most
likely.
Potentially.
likely.
All right.
I
don't
the more
know
I
who-
think about
I
it,
don't
it
know
is the
who that
FTC.
is.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
who the Secretary of Commerce
We
is.
can look that up. We'll look
Yeah.
that up.
It doesn't matter because they're not going to do anything about it.
They might. We could email them and maybe that'll happen.
There you go. Yeah.
Because the Secretary
Then-
of Commerce probably doesn't make that much money.
The FBI is descending on John's house as we speak for emailing the Secretary of Commerce.
Someone just stole everything over. No, I'm kidding.
All right, gentlemen. In between second and third topics, I ran upstairs. Spoiler alert: we take breaks.
Oh, there you go.
And I had to pee, so we've had time.
I located a bag of chips in my
Ooh,
pantry.
Look at that right there. And
Lay's wavy original.
okay.
Nice.
Net
Super
weight
tasty.
7 3/4 ounces. And as I
Oh.
feel up the bag, which one does with potato chips,
Yeah.
I feel like we stop right around here.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yep.
So that's
Which
almost
isn't
like
that's not bad.
that's like 25% of the bag, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
you
feel like
definitely-
that's a lot of chips though. That's a decent amount.
Yeah. Okay.
Popcorners, I'm thinking like
Those are
Like-
they're really light. I will say that the popcorner chip is a very light snack. So I don't know if that's that's got to be a factor in this too.
Oh
on
yeah,
top of it.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because
Well, they probably-
yeah.
They shoot air into the popcorners. They shoot air into the bag. It's all you're eating air. That's all you're eating.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
All right. And if you like eating air, you should visit our website, twonoobstalking.wordpress.com. There you can watch our. What?
Like eating air? I don't know. Is this?
He didn't write that.
I never do, John. It always comes up on the spot. You go to our website, you can watch our episodes. Unfortunately, they only go back as far as 140 on the website because I was too lazy to load the other 139.
I don't blame you.
It would have taken a long time. So it will take you to our YouTube channel to watch the rest of them. Where, if you are there, you should like, share, and subscribe. We got a really weird comment on last week's episode. Yeah, we don't trade in Bitcoin. Any of us. So I don't know how to answer your question about fixing your wallet or whatever it is. But
oh man,
these bots are going crazy.
We recommend you consult with a professional in the crypto industry, which we are not. But anyway,
I know a guy.
Still leave your comments. We like comments.
I know a guy. I'll comment underneath you and send you to a guy.
All right,
that
very
I'll
good.
Become rich from.
Yeah. All right. Back to the website. There is a space on the homepage, which has our updated logo now. Thanks,
nice.
Matt.
There you go.
You put your email address in there. You hit the subscribe button. You will be subscribed. So every time I remember to upload a new episode to the website, you will be notified. Matt saw that worked firsthand last week.
I love it.
It was a beautiful email. It actually has pictures from it. It's very well done.
You can click right on the link, goes right to the YouTube episode. So do subscribe. We do appreciate it. So there you go.
That's
I love
right.
it. There you go.
All right. Topic
All right.
3, to make John even more uncomfortable.
First, it's
I just want to
demonstrate.
get to topic 4 because I worked so hard on it. Stop fucking with me.
Well, first we got to deal with your allergies. Swarms of tiny robots.
Oh boy.
Period. No.
End of story.
I thought I said no AI.
I don't think this is AI.
Okay.
They're controlled. So swarms of tiny robots, each no larger than a speck of dust, could be deployed to cure stubborn infected sinuses before being blown out through the nose into a tissue, researchers have claimed. The micro robots are a fraction of the width of a human hair and have been inserted successfully into animal sinuses in preclinical trials by researchers at universities in China and Hong Kong, of course.
Of course.
Swarms are injected into the sinus cavity via a duct threaded through the nostril and guided to their target by electromagnetism,
Oh my
where they
god.
can be made to heat up and catalyze chemical reactions to wipe out bacterial infections. There are hopes the precisely targeted technology could eventually reduce reliance on antibiotics and other generalized medicines. The tiny devices are part of the expanding field of micro and nano robots for use in medicine. They have also been developed to deliver drugs and to remove bacteria from medical implants such as stents and hernia meshes. Researchers in the emerging field acknowledge risks include some of the tiny micro robots being left behind after treatment, which could cause longer-term side effects.
Whoops.
You can't have a good thing without good side effects.
Yeah, you can't have nice things. Gosh darn it.
And another potential problem, cited by technology experts, is public suspicion at the thought of welcoming robots into the human body and conspiracy theories arising around fears the robots could be activated without consent. John, sit back, relax as I inject some micro robots into your nostrils.
Thank you. At least I can breathe now.
My question
And they
is,
and they say Elon's crazy.
but I have a question. If you're Dr. Fauci, doesn't this destroy your entire career at this point? Like if the Chinese are building
It might be right up Fauci's alley, to be honest.
It
with
could
you.
be.
He wants to shove shit into everything. AIDS, epidemic, COVID. The dude's at that.
I mean,
I'm just saying, you no longer need vaccines. No longer. I mean, he is Mr. Vaccine. I mean, that's what he built his career on. If these micro robots go in there and essentially destroy the common cold and destroy COVID, what do we need him for?
But
Right?
they stay. And that's what he likes.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, you had the
Oh.
conspiracy theorists with the COVID vaccine who are like, "Oh, they're tracking you with that." I'm like, it's clearly fluid, but this is this is more likely
because they just
right?
learned about nanobots, Steve. So you gotta
Exactly.
Yeah.
They gotta catch
So
up.
Futurama was
Okay,
right.
that's
You'd
just
go,
it.
you shrink down and you go in there and you have a war and you beat up all the.
You
Great
defeat the bacteria.
But nobody watched George Carlin in '70, who made that joke a long time ago. and
Yeah.
conspiracy theorists still think it's gonna he made that joke.
Yeah,
That's where it comes from.
he's brilliant. I love George Carlin. Love
I
him.
can see the benefit to this.
Mhm.
You know, the way
It would fix some stuff. Yeah, I
It
would
would.
breathe better in the morning.
Absolutely.
I have a book that says, "How does aspirin find a headache?" And the answer is, well, it doesn't. It's just the aspirin goes throughout your body, and the place that hurts is just the only place that is going to feel the effect, right?
Yeah.
So
because it calms your nervous system, and
Right.
that's normally
But
what stops pain.
Yeah.
it goes everywhere, though. Any
Yes.
medicine you take goes everywhere. It's
Yeah.
just the effect is felt where
Yeah,
it's needed.
Tylenol doesn't go to where the pain is. It goes
Right.
everywhere.
Really?
It relaxes your nervous system, and magically you feel better. Magically.
But this,
Because it calms your nervous system.
I mean, you think about this has potential of like, you know, the problem with in cancer treatment is chemotherapy,
Oh,
radiation.
yeah.
Yes.
It's not just going to the cancer cells, it's destroying healthy cells and your
Mm.
immune system. And that's why
Mm.
that's why it is as horrific as it is when you're getting treated.
Yeah.
Something like this, if they could get it right
Oh,
and have the ability to not leave them behind.
Yeah.
Right.
that's the key. That's the key right there. Not leave them
Yes.
behind. Get them out. But yeah, I mean, the real world implications of the cancer. I mean, that's a great point, Steve, really. Because if you could go in there and remove it with these, oh my gosh, that's something 20, 30, 40, 50 years down the road. You just never know.
The article even said, I mean, this thing alone for the sinuses is 5 to 10 years away from being legit. So
Can I make a point?
No.
This is where science needs to be.
Yes, please.
And this is what needs to be talked about because we don't have the cures, we don't have the understanding, but the trying. The only concern about this is a fucking robot being left behind, and then all of a sudden you're a liberal.
Right. It found that little spot in your brain that flipped the switch.
Exactly.
And you run.
You hate life, and
the next thing you do is you.
Aside, but this is no.
No, I was just going to say you could run as a socialist mayor in New York City. You never know. I mean,
exactly. But you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
That's
how it happened.
Right.
Exactly. He had a science robot, and now he's Eric Adams. Kick his ass.
Please. Yeah.
But that science needs to be science. It needs to be a place where we can objectively look at it, understand it, and understand it's not there yet. It's not the Fauci science. Like, it's not
scientific method.
Oh, this is the greatest thing ever, and this is going to cure everything. No, dumbass. You failed at everything. Like, I like that scientists are actually being like, yeah, we're trying this. It's got some side effects. I'm sorry it has some side effects. But if you're willing to try it,
right?
Let's go.
Right?
Would you like to put a tooth in your eye?
I'm okay with scientists doing scientist things as long as they're truthful. And they're like, I don't know if it's going to work out. Let's try it.
Yeah.
And the person is like, let's go.
All for it.
It's a different science that we had to deal with many years ago.
Yeah,
I'm just recalling there was an X-Files episode where Mulder and Scully's boss, Skinner, they get these nanobots into his bloodstream, and then they have a little device that controls them, and if they set it up, they block his blood flow and could kill him.
Oh,
and
wow.
so that's like a method of controlling his decision making.
Wow.
Like, well, you make the wrong decision and you're dead.
Yeah.
That's scary as hell.
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
good night sleeping. I'm injecting the nanobots. Oh, this is a pen. I'm sorry. It's not
So
gonna
no,
work.
I by the way flew to while they were having issues. I flew to Abington and put nanobots in that.
Nice.
So you're screwed. You're screwed.
Oh no!
Just make sure to get that out.
I snuck in because I'm a ninja.
Steve. Yeah.
I'm gonna blow them into a tissue.
I'm not that much of a ninja. I would have knocked on the door and said hi. Steve."
Yeah, I know. I'm very disappointed that you didn't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't fly out there. I was home.
I'm gonna leave your ass in a tissue. How's that?
Mm.
All right. Topic 4: fact or fiction. I think most of this episode has been fiction.
Factor.
But John has some questions for each of Matt and me. He's
Okay.
going to ask, and we're going to decide whether what he's reading is fact or fiction. I don't know. John can explain how that's going to work.
Okay. I'm just going to ask a question. Either Matt and Steve are going to say fact or fiction,
Okay.
and we'll give points. If you both get fiction, you get a point.
Okay.
If it's
So we both answer the question.
yes,
Okay.
yes, each question. There's only 10 questions,
All right.
so we're
So-
sorry. I came up with a bunch of ridiculous questions and threw it in ChatGPT, and it gave me a nice little fun little game.
Oh, so it's all
Gameplay.
fiction.
Yes, it's all fiction.
I
It's all
thought I
fiction if it came out of
said
ChatGPT.
Yeah.
no
Everybody-
artificial intelligence for the rest of this.
So-
Okay.
Well, we're not discussing it. It's
Yeah.
just
We're
Got
not
it.
discussing. I used it for funsies because they got a little
Ah.
brain there.
Ah.
And it says facts or fiction, the hard mode version. And then it
Ooh.
has your two names and it has some pictures.
Oh.
And then instructions on the game. I'll read the ChatGPT instructions.
see, AI is good for funsies. so
Yeah.
it's all
There you
good.
go.
Read each statement aloud because we need to know that, right? Each player guesses fact or fiction, and they got a check mark and an X. Mark correct answer telling me what to do. 1 point for each correct guess.
There you go.
So
All
we're
right.
gonna follow the robot's rules. is what we're
All
gonna
right.
do, Okay.
All right.
So number 1 question,
Okay.
and Matt, you will start out.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
In Rocky, the meat locker scene was filmed in a Philly slaughterhouse owned by Sylvester Stallone's uncle. Fact or fiction?
I'm going to say fact on that.
Okay, Steve, what is your answer?
Given the budget, I'm going to assume Sylvester Stallone had to leverage some relationships like that, so I will say fact.
What, Matt? What did you say?
I said fact as well.
Okay, wrong. Fiction.
Wow.
They
Really?
used a actual slaughterhouse, but it had nothing to do
Nothing
with
to-
it.
Nothing to do with
Yeah,
his uncle. How
nothing
about
to
that?
do
Huh. Okay.
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 Tricky.
So,
Okay.
so the second question. This is where I got to send you a text.
Okay.
I will read the question and then send you a text
Okay.
Okay.
as soon as I get into my brand new phone.
Activate nanobots.
Come on.
Oh, the brand new
John,
phone
you're
ain't
talking
working.
this. You talk this phone up to me. You're like, "Oh, Steve, you got to get one." Like,
I'm good.
you can't even
You
get
totally
into it.
do, but just don't put the passcode in. It's terrible. Okay. Narwhal tusk
Okay.
is a tooth that can bend 90 degrees without breaking. I'm gonna
Hmm.
send you a picture of what that animal is so you can
Okay.
see it.
All right.
I actually know what a narwhal is.
I know I do, but I wanted to send you the picture because it's kind of important.
90
Okay.
degrees without breaking. You said.
But it is a tooth.
Huh.
So when you look at the picture, you're gonna kind of see a little bit more detail.
Without breaking, I am going to say that is fiction because I think every tooth can be broken. Case in point. So there you go.
I'm going to say fact because I'm pretty sure it is a tooth. And it wouldn't shock me that given where it is and what they would have to
Mhm.
use it for, that it could be pliable to the effect that you
Oh.
state.
There you go.
Okay. Fact is the answer.
Oh,
Yes!
Steve is correct. Okay, guess what?
So now I just have to give the same answer as Matt every time and I'll win.
That's not true.
That is not true. That's funny.
All right, let's go on to 3.
Okay.
Okay.
This is another Philly one.
Okay.
Philly City Hall is the tallest masonry structure in the world.
Oh.
Steve, you're first.
Huh.
I'll say fact.
Matt.
I'm going to have to agree with him. Fact on that one, Johnny.
The City Hall, at the very least, used for like a very short time, was actually the tallest building in the world.
Mm.
I think the Empire State Building was the first one to exceed
To
it. but-
eclipse it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But it's
so
not masonry. Yep.
Mm.
You are absolutely correct. It's
Both
fact.
of us. How about that? But Steve's up 1. Gosh darn it.
Number 4. This is a little fun one. I think we all know this, and I just put it on there for funsies.
Okay.
Okay.
The NFL once merged the Eagles and the Steelers into one team and called them the Steagles.
Mm.
Fact.
Fact. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
That wasn't when they wore those ugly, hideous yellow and blue.
Yes,
jerseys,
that's where
right?
that came from. Yes.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was the
Exactly
Steagles?
that's exactly where
Oh.
that came from.
Really?
Oh,
Yep.
interesting.
Yep.
Huh.
That was the year that they did it.
Really?
That's
Huh.
why they're blue and gold.
I thought that was because of the city flag, but that's my.
Well, it was the state flag, right?
No, I thought that was the Philly city flag. But anyway,
Yeah.
we'll figure it out.
I think what John, I'm gonna say fiction. Matt, you agree?
Yeah.
Fiction.
I lose. It's fine.
All right.
Moving on to number 5.
Okay.
The Jurassic Park Velociraptor sound
Mm.
was partly made from tortoises mating.
I'm gonna say fact on that one. What the hell? I said fact.
At the risk of blowing my 1-point advantage, I will say fiction.
Matt is right.
Yes!
Damn. I did not want that to be true.
Neither did I.
Damn it.
I love it.
Number 6 is if you watch Too Noobs
Ooh.
and listen to my fun facts.
Okay.
Number 6 is cows can have best friends and get stressed when they're separated.
No. I remember this.
Watched an episode of Two Noobs, you would know.
It's a fact.
I'm gonna say a fact on that one too. Yeah.
You are both correct.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. I remember that. That was really good. I remember when you brought that. That was like, oh my gosh, I would have never known, but makes sense.
I never.
Yeah.
I love that fact.
Yeah.
They're so tasty, though.
I eat nothing but meat, so I love.
Oh
cows.
man.
Okay, number 7.
Okay.
Independence Hall has a secret Revolutionary War escape tunnel beneath it.
Wow, this is good.
I tried to keep it very Philly. If you guys.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna say fiction on that one, Johnny. I'm gonna say fiction.
Okay. Steve.
I'm going to agree with that. I would think that would be on the tour if that were
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
You are both correct. It is.
There you go. Although that kind of makes me wonder, like, about that movie National Treasure. That would have been really cool if they would have like dug underneath to try and find something that
So where are we
Franklin
at?
left. Yeah.
Where are we at right now? On
So it's
Tied.
5-5. Yeah, tied 5-5.
5-5.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, number 8. Allen Iverson was offered an NFL contract. Offered a tryout. I'm sorry, not contract.
tryout.
I don't even know where. Yeah, a tryout before going to the NBA.
I'm gonna say fact.
I'm going to say the same because I know he played football in
Yeah,
high school.
yeah.
Yes, that is fiction.
Oh, it's fiction.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
He was never offered. Yeah.
Wow.
He was only an NBA talent.
He probably would have played corner, I would imagine, given his size. But yeah. Boy, he would have been amazing. Like if he got suited up.
I think he played quarterback actually.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the next one.
Huh?
Octopuses can taste through their arms. Fact or fiction?
I'm going to say fiction.
Something tells me that's a fact. I feel like I've heard that before. So.
You were right. It's a fact. Where
Oh.
do we stand in
Yes.
points?
I'm up one now.
Yeah, he's up one.
Okay.
So I need to tie him somehow.
Okay. Last question.
Oh.
Unless we need a tiebreaker, which I will go to the phone and find another tiebreaker. The Liberty Bell was cracked during a parade in 1835.
Wow. All right, so I will go first. I'm going to say fact on that.
Okay.
I don't suppose you know whether we're talking about the crack or like cracked again.
It just says the Liberty Bell was cracked during a parade.
In 1835.
I believe that as a fact, but I don't know if it's the original crack or if like they effed it up again, like in that parade. But I will say fact. Yes.
Okay. It was fiction.
Oh.
It was never cracked during the parade.
Oh.
So we finish.
6-5, Steve won.
There you go.
There you go.
So wait, when it doesn't say when it was cracked.
It does not. No.
Interesting. Okay. Well, we'll have to.
I thought I remember, and maybe it was just an urban legend that it had cracked during a parade, but
Definitely not in 1835.
How about that?
Well, that's what was giving me pause. I'm like 1835. I thought it was cracked.
It sounds legit. It was probably cracked in 1834, and then they just
right.
blew it up.
Yeah, it's not clear. This is history.com real quick.
Okay.
Liberty Bell gets its famous crack, according to one of many stories, first cracked back in 1824 during the visit of the Revolutionary War hero Marquis de Lafayette. Another story holds that it was fractured later that year while tolling the signal of fire. One of the more popular legends claims that the bell was cracked during the funeral of Chief Justice John Marshall in 1835. Newspaper accounts of the funeral do not mention such an incident.
They overused that bell and then it cracked, and they were like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah. Whatever the truth is, it seems the bell was certainly damaged by 1846 when Philadelphia's mayor requested that the bell be run on George Washington's birthday. So how about that?
Oh, we can't. It's structurally unsound.
Yes. We done fucked up.
Yeah. There you go.
Wasn't there a second bell too?
The Centennial Bell. Yeah.
Yes.
Is that also cracked?
No. That one is still functioning, but they don't ring it for obvious reasons.
Well, yeah, because you don't want to crack it.
You don't want to crack it again. Yeah.
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 Right. Actually,
They
according to
learned
this
their
website,
lesson. Yeah.
According to this
See what
website,
happens when you learn your damn lessons.
the Liberty Bell was actually cracked by Matthew Tkachuk while celebrating the Stanley Cup victory when he threw it in the ocean.
That's fact.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Oh God! All right. Well, that wraps.
Fact and fiction. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Thanks,
good.
Sean.
That was good.
Yeah, it was great.
There was more fact than fiction than I was expecting, but yeah, that was good. All right, well, that ends episode 247 of Two Noobs Talking. We'll be back next week with 248, where we're going to go totally fiction. We're just going to make crap up for 4 topics and bring down the establishment.
Let's do it.
Re-dicking at its finest. But until then, get out.
Big fan of redicking.